I want you to imagine a young lady who, after a day's hard work, cooks for her children, feeds them, sends them to bed, and when it was her time to go to bed, grabs a kerosene lantern and then heads out to a school, a nearby public school building to teach women read and write. This woman that you just imagined was my mother-in-law who volunteered to educate adult women, helped improve children's and women's health, and raised the issues faced by women in that rural part of Nepal. I knew Basmata long before I married to her daughter, my wife. She had entered into politics and she had been nominated as the party's candidate for the country's parliament. And I remember her speaking at a mass meeting during the election campaigns that her party had organized. And after I married to her daughter, I came to know closely about her struggles and her leadership roles in her family, in the town, and in that whole district. So today I want to share with you the life of my mother-in-law as a volunteer in social works and as a leader. So my mother-in-law volunteered in social works. She volunteered for the adult education program organized by UNESCO from 1995 to 1997 to educate adult women. According to UNESCO, in 1990s, women's literacy rate in Nepal was 20%, below 20%, compared to men's 40%. And due to these literacy campaigns, with the help of the volunteers like my mother-in-law, the country's women's literacy rate in towards the end of 2000 was about 35%. She also volunteered as a Swasthya Swayamsevika, who is volunteering in health sector. She volunteered in the programs organized by UNICEF to improve children's and women's health, and she volunteered for UNICEF for more than 10 years. As a health volunteer, she worked to improve children's health. According to UNICEF, in 1990, infant mortality rate in Nepal was 130 per 1,000 newborn children. And due to the continuous efforts of UNICEF and the government of Nepal, with the help of these volunteers like my mother-in-law, the infant mortality rate came down to 52 per 1,000 newborn children by the time my mother-in-law retired as a volunteer in 2008. And as a volunteer, as a health volunteer, my mother-in-law would visit households, and not everybody in that town had a radio. And she would inform all the families in the village about the vaccination programs and also about the other health programs that were organized in the local health posts. And she also helped to improve pregnant and postnatal women's health. And women in that village didn't have access to hospitals during pregnancy or during deliveries. So most of the children, all of the children used to be born at home. So the volunteers like my mother-in-law used to be mobilized to spread the awareness about how to have a safe delivery at home and also take care of newborn child. And as a part of her volunteering, she also encouraged women and men to use contraceptives and not to have too many children. And her life as a social worker doesn't end here. And she was women's leader in her village, in her town. Because of the poor literacy and the male-dominated social structures, many women faced violence in their households and in that society. And the victimized women used to come to my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law would call a meeting uh, and try to hold the perpetrators accountable for their crimes and help the victimized women get justice through reconciliation or the court procedures. And as a leader in her town, as a women's leader in her town, she convinced many families to send their daughters to go to school, to, to send their daughters to school, and also encouraged the young girls to go to school. And it may sound trivial now, but that time in that part of the world, the girls used to carry their brothers' school bags and lunch to their school and leave them at school and come back to home to work in their parents' farms instead of staying in school to learn read and write. Uh, so after working as a social worker, she entered into politics to work for a more broader cause. And because of her strong social involvement and the reputation, she was elected as a party's treasurer in her party's women's committee. And in that time, women didn't know about their rights. And she used the party platform to campaign and encourage women not to keep silence about the violence they faced in their households and the society. And in 2008, her party nominated her as the candidate, as the party's candidate for the country's parliament from her district. Even though she did not win the election, she remained as one of the examples of women as a leader in her town, in the district. And she retired from politics in 2016. And with her husband's continued support, she made an example of women as a leader in her district. And yes, it was the life of my mother-in-law as a volunteer, a social worker, and a leader. And she inspired my wife and many other young girls. And I wish her a happy birthday, great birthday, and then good health. Thank you.